And you're telling me Jack Della Maddalena is number 4 on your pound-for-pound rankings above Islam Makhachev?
These have to be certified stats.
You are a super casual. You're like the opposite of a casual. You're like... Because a casual would just automatically put Islam at number 1. You're like a hater. That is what you are. You're a casual hater.
I'm a realist.
All right, my number 4 is going to be Dracus du Plessis.
I'm going to take Tom Aspinall from 8. I'm going to move Colby Covington up to 8.
Bro, what's going on, MMA fans, and welcome back to the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I am joined once again by Elijah. I think this is episode 55 of the podcast.
Yeah.
We have been going for a very long time at this point, and today we are doing a review of Usman versus Buckley and a prediction for Hill versus Khalil Rountree. And overall, we're going to have fun. We're going to talk about all these fights. We might do a little segment in the middle if we have a little bit of time. We might do our pound-for-pound rankings, which we haven't done in a long time. Might just run through it real quick. If not, then we could always save that for next episode. We're going to keep it light, keep it casual this time. We're doing 2 fight nights, so there's not really too much to talk about, but we are going to have fun with this one today, Elijah. And then afterwards, we are going to be recording some new shorts, some new things that we want to start putting out onto the channel. So if you guys are seeing this, more than likely, those are going to be coming in the next couple of days. So keep an eye out for those on the channel. They're going to be like ranking videos, like blind ranking videos, and like build your perfect... I don't want to give any away to him. Go check them out on the channel. So, first off, we are just going to dig into Usman versus Buckley. We're going to go down and talk about some of the fights on the prelim, but mostly we're going to keep it on the main card. So Usman versus Buck. It went exactly how I've been saying it was going to go for weeks. Usman he just wrestled him the entire time. 5th round, Buckley almost got him with a couple of good strikes.
Yeah.
But Usman was trying to stay safe. Overall, Usman did what Usman does. He went right back into form. It looked like the Tyron Woodley fight. It looked like the first Jorge Masvidal fight. It was just a relentless grappling attack. I was trying to tell you, bro. Every week I was trying to tell you this is what it's going to look like. You had Usman written down on your board, and you still ended up going with Buckley. Yeah. So I retained my title. And that's on you. That's not on me.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the fight?
I thought the fight was... I felt like Kamaru Usman... I mean, he did do a good job, with the grappling and everything. I mean, you could see how his knees are really affecting him, when he takes those things. But I felt like Buckley, he could come back from this.
He had that one... Usman, tripped over Buckley and, fell to the ground. Hey, afterwards he did yell at all of us and told us not to talk about his knees anymore. I mean, his knees are still shot, but I mean, he's still really good at wrestling, and he works around it, but his knees are shot, you could tell. Yeah. The way he walked off that bus, did you see the video of him walking off the bus where he had to come down it sideways and kind of limp down it?
Yeah.
I don't know, his knees are still shot. He's just still an elite level performer. I mean, he works around it. That's what these guys got to do.
For 30 minutes, he could turn it on.
Exactly. But we're going to start on the prelims, make our way back up, and maybe dig a little bit more into it in a second. I just wanted to talk about Malcolm Wellmaker. Remember the name Malcolm Wellmaker. He knocked out Chris Moutinho in 2 minutes. And Chris Moutinho's the guy that fought Sugar Sean O'Malley. He had the pink hair. Or maybe it was green. It was either pink or green. I don't remember. One of them had pink hair. One of them had green hair. But O'Malley couldn't finish Moutinho. He kind of did, but it was a doctor, or it was a TKO. The ref kind of pulled him off.
Yeah.
But Malcolm Wellmaker put Chris Moutinho out cold in 2 minutes. He was landing body shot, leg kick with his kicks.
Yeah.
And then he set up the last kick. He feinted a kick. Chris Moutinho's hands came down, and Wellmaker came through with the right hook. I think it was his third right hook finish in the UFC in a row. He's had 3 fights, 3 right hand finishes, 3 right hooks. That's like Alex Pereira shit. That's prime. We still haven't seen him fight a wrestler. I've been seeing that a lot online.
Who?
Malcolm Wellmaker. He's only been fighting strikers, and he's been knocking them out. Once he fights a wrestler, will he get earlier in the night we had Cameron Smotherland get smothered by Ricky Simone. If Malcolm Wellmaker fights someone on the grappling level of Ricky Simone, will he be able to stuff the takedowns? We still don't know that. But for now, the knockout power is there, and he seems like a pretty entertaining guy to look out for. Not really going to talk about Michael Chiesa, Court McGee. It was boring. Paul Craig versus Bellato. So Paul Craig hit Bellato with an up kick, but Bellato's knee was down. On the way down, Bellato looks at the ref and goes like this. He goes, huh. And then when he hits the ground, he goes, and everyone's saying that he pretended to be knocked out. He kind of said like his brain shut down slowly, like he looked at the ref and then his brain started to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He like scooted back to the cage once he woke back up. He started trying to wrestle the ref.
Yeah.
Like, did you see any of that? I'm sure you didn't watch the fight live. You didn't see any of that.
I didn't see anything.
It was a weird... It ended up being a no contest. Probably should have been a DQ.
Yeah.
Because Paul Craig hit him with an illegal up kick. Probably should have been a DQ. It ended up being a no contest. I don't know, man. Bellato might have been acting like Aljamain did. Like, it was... I don't know, man. He went down, looked at the ref like, what the heck? And then he just went... It was like... I've seen Shane Burgos get knocked out before, and like... He took the shot, and then Shane Burgos was like, keep fighting, and then he slowly faded out.
Yeah.
It's possible, but I don't know. It looked like A-level acting.
Wait, so he kneed him?
No, he up-kicked him. But Bellato's knee was on the ground. So when Paul Craig up-kicked him, his knee was on the ground, so that made it an illegal blow. But Bellato wasn't instantly knocked out by it. It kind of looked like it grazed his shoulder, too.
Yeah.
And he wasn't instantly knocked out. He kind of like faded out, I guess. It was either that or he was doing some really good acting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was. That's for everyone at home to decide. That's not for me to decide. We don't have his brain, so we don't know how that worked. Moving up to the main card, Alonzo Menefield and Umar Sy had a very boring fight. Sy was 11-0 going into this fight. He was one of the best French prospects, and now he's lost to Alonzo Menefield. So
shame.
Those French guys, they gotta get back on their shit. I mean, Cyril Gain, Benoit Saint Denis, Manon Fiorot, Omar Sy, like those are the top 4 people from France, I'd say. Other than maybe like, I mean, you can count Amavov, but he's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can count Amavov. Amavov's doing pretty good too. But other than him, all the other French fighters have recently been losing a lot. I don't know, man. They're going back to Paris soon. Hopefully that a bunch of the French people can get back on top. I don't know, man. It seems like the French fighters have kind of been taking a little bit of a downstep. UFC put a lot of money and effort into getting into the French market.
Yeah.
It has not been paying off so far. I mean, they've still got Amavov, but honestly, he's lost to Strickland. He did beat Izzy, but I don't think he has any shot at beating either Kallio Bahalio or DDP or Chimaev. So those... I don't know. He's like number 4, number 5 in the division. Well, he's number 1, but he should be number 5.
Cyril Gain was probably their biggest pull, right?
Yeah, and he was interim champ for a while, but I mean, he lost to Ngannou, he lost to Jones, he got knocked down by Tai Tuivasa. I mean, he should have lost that fight to Volkov. He's just kind of been on
Volkov.
Not in the second fight. In the first fight, yes, but in the second fight, Volkov won that fight. I don't want to hear anything about it.
I mean, speaking of the heavyweight division, what's up with Francis? Where does Francis move on from here?
Dana White said no. He said he was asked in a press conference about if he'd bring back Ngannou, and Dana said no, I'm not bringing him back. He's too hard to work with.
Not even just him coming back to the UFC, just him in this fighting in general.
He's still signed with the PFL, I'm pretty sure, but who's there to fight in the PFL? No one. Like, what are you going to do? Go drag Fedor out of retirement or something? Like, there's just no one to fight outside of the UFC as a heavyweight.
If Cain Velasquez didn't go to jail, they were going to bring Cain.
Yeah, with his 2 bad knees and bad back. I don't know, man. He's retired.
Cain would do him crazy.
They already fought.
I know.
Ngannou knocked him out.
I know.
So I don't know, man. I don't think you're correct about that one. I think that Cain Velasquez is retired. Whether he's even when he comes out of prison, I think he's still going to be retired. There's no more fighting for him. Ngannou might as well retire at this point too. I mean, I don't think he's going to get a fight lined up for a long time. Yeah. And at that point, he's going to be like 42. You might as well just hang it up at this point. You were too difficult to work with for the biggest brand in the world, and that's on you. That, like, you can't just say that you're going to move to the PFL and make PFL a rival to the UFC. You're not that important. Like, Ngannou's a great fighter. He's a celebrity, but he's just not that important to create a new league by himself.
So if Conor McGregor and John Jones would go to PFL, would it be better?
No, because those are guys that have a very short shelf life. Jones has 1-2 more fights. Conor has 1-2 more fights. Ngannou has 1 or 2 more fights.
Exactly. That's why they need to go to the PFL, make their money off those fights, and bring it up.
Well, no, the PFL isn't going to get brought up. It's going to get a good viewership spike for that period of time, but then as soon as they retire, the PFL is going to go back to being nothing again. It's going to be the exact same thing
Send O'Malley there.
It's going to be the exact same thing that put every other company out of business. You spend all of your money on the top guys, on the UFC rejects or the UFC jumpers.
Yeah.
And then your company goes completely kaput after a couple of years. We've seen this over and over again with Elite XC, with Pride, and all of these companies go under because they start only caring about their top guys who are eventually just going to leave. You need to invest more in your... That's why the UFC has the Dana White Contender Series, the Road to the UFC, the Tough. They want to get these guys in front of our eyes very early so that these are our new stars that we're looking out for. I feel like the PFL doesn't do that.
See, but how many people are really watching Dana White Contender Series? Your common person is really just waiting for him to get to the championship part.
I agree, but that's the thing. On the Dana White Contender Series, maybe no one's watching it live, but you're going to see the shorts. You're going to see the clips. If something crazy happens, you're more than likely going to get that in front of you. And then if they make it to the UFC, you're watching a pay-per-view and say they're on the prelims, you're going to notice that name. It's going to come on. They're going to show their highlights, and then you're going to see them on the Dana White Contender Series getting a huge knockout or something. And that's what's going to get you invested.
Peyton Talbot?
Yeah, I mean, Peyton Talbot's still a star. I mean, he lost 1 fight. He's still a star.
He's over with.
No, he's not.
Peyton Talbot's
no, he's not.
retired.
He's fighting Lima, Diego Lima, I think, soon. So we'll see how that fight goes. But yeah, no. And I honestly believe that more people watch the Dana White Contender Series than watch PFL.
No.
Yeah, I honestly think so. Or at least if you add Tough, the Dana White Contender Series, and the Road to the UFC, if you add those viewerships up together, they get more viewers than the PFL.
That's how the UFC gets paid, though. Those shows. Because pay-per-views don't really cut it too much.
I buy all the pay-per-views. You guys might think I'm crazy. I pay $80 for every pay-per-view. There was one that I didn't pay for. I didn't watch it at all. Yeah, totally. I didn't watch it at all. Totally didn't stream it. No, I went out... No, listen, there are some cards where you just can't pay $80 for, but for the most part, I pay $80 every single time, unlike everyone else. You guys might think I'm crazy for that, but I just think it's the right thing to do. I don't know. I guess I'm a UFC shill. I don't know. All right, next up, we had another weird fight. We had Cody Brundage versus Mansour Abdul Malak. Malak is now 9-0. He beat Cody Brundage. There was a little bit of a headbutt, but he got the decision because they stopped the fight in the 3rd round and they went to the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
I think Cody was unable to continue, so they stopped the fight early, but since it was already in the 3rd round, they were able to take the judges' scorecards up to that point and use the decision, and Mansour got it. I don't know. This was a weird night of fights. Those last 4 fights that I talked about, those were all kind of weird fights. Next up, Cody Garbrandt versus Barcelos. So Barcelos was the guy who beat Peyton Talbot in his last fight.
Yeah.
And now he's just beaten Cody Garbrandt too. So I guess Barcelos is on his way back up. His biggest loss is to Umar Nurmagomedov. He got knocked out, but other than that, he's kind of been on a hot streak lately. Where does Cody Garbrandt go from here?
Probably retirement.
I really think that that's the way to go. He's now got a record of 14-7, which means he has 2 out of 3 wins. Like he has a 2-to-3 ratio of wins. 14-7, so that's like a third of his losses.
75% win percentage.
No, it would be 66.6%.
66.7.
Whatever. 66.6 repeating.
7.
Okay. But basically Cody Garbrandt probably should retire. It's either that or go to the PFL or go to Bellator or something. I don't think he's UFC level anymore. He's stuck in his own head. He's way too in his own way. He needs to just let go of his hands and just start fighting like the old Cody again. He looked way too laid back. He was doing good with the takedown defense, but then he let Barcelos start to pick him apart on the feet. It's like, bro, just let go. He knocked him down in the first round and then didn't have any more offense the entire fight. I used to love Cody Garbrandt. You need to go somewhere else, make your name again on the PFL or something, or just retire. The UFC is not the place for him anymore, I don't think, sadly.
The PFL?
PFL would be a good play. I think he'd fit really well in the PFL, but then that's the problem again with the PFL is that they take the UFC rejects, hoping that people go and watch them, and then they get knocked
he'll go to
out.
one championship then.
Yeah, but the one is actually way better than the PFL when it comes to that specific problem. They don't really take in UFC rejects. They kind of like build their own stars. Because Demetrius Johnson was not a UFC reject. He was a UFC superstar who chose to go over there.
Yeah.
That's completely different than like being cut from the UFC and then getting signed over there. They don't. One usually doesn't sign people that get cut from the UFC. Maybe like one exception, like Eddie Alvarez. But I don't even know if Eddie got cut from the UFC or if he just didn't re-sign. I don't know the story behind that. But one doesn't really sign UFC rejects. So, Edmund Shirbazian versus Andre Petrosky was next. Edmund picked up the decision win. I didn't pay too much attention to this fight. I think I was doing something. Yeah, I was. I think I was walking to Quick Check at the time. So I didn't see this fight mostly. I was watching a little bit on my phone, but I was also trying not to trip and fall on the pavement, so I wasn't really staring at my phone.
Yeah.
A good win for Edmund. Andre was on like a 5-fight win streak, so this is a really good win for him. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch it, so can't tell too much about it. But next up, I did watch Rose pick up the decision win over Miranda Maverick. I thought Miranda was going to be the one that goes out there and gets takedowns.
Yeah.
Rose was the one who went out there and got takedowns.
Really?
She held the bigger girl down for like half the fight, outstruck her, just kind of masterclassed her. Miranda Maverick is now like, yeah, I don't know, you fight anyone at this point.
Yeah.
Rose probably deserves another top 5, but I think she's already fought most of the top 5 at flyweight at this point now. She's only been there for like 2 years, and she's already fought most of the girls up there. Oh man, I don't even. Do you have a good fight for Rose?
I don't even know who Rose could fight.
I don't either. I mean, maybe she did say Alexa Grasso, and she said what's her name? The girl who just beat Alexa Grasso, Natalia Silva. So she called out Natalia Silva and Alexa Grasso. Those are pretty much the only girls that are available right now that she hasn't fought. She's already fought Erin Blanchfield. She's fought Tracy Cortez. She's fought Manon Fiorot. She's fought all those girls at the top 10, or basically top 5. Really all that's left is either Grasso, but I don't think it's going to be Silva. Silva's number 1 contender. She's probably going to sit on that ranking. It'll probably be Alexa Grasso versus Rose, which are 2 former champions, so that's not a bad fight to line up.
Yeah.
And then we're back to the main event. We have Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. If you have anything you want to talk about with this fight, go right ahead. You don't want to talk about it?
I mean, I thought we was talking about it the first time, like in the beginning, because I was explaining. Remember, with the knees, the whole thing with the knees, and then I saw something about someone said in the comments about Buckley always having Kamaru Usman in danger. How do you feel about that? in the fight actively.
No, I don't think Usman was ever in danger. Other than the 5th round, for the first 3 minutes of the 5th round, I thought Buckley had him in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
He started landing some good uppercuts. Usman was kind of laying back a little bit more. It was the exact mistake he made in the Leon Edwards fight, by the way. So I kind of had that in the back of my head where he was making the same mistake as the Leon fight where he just coasted in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't think Usman was in much danger the entire time. Buckley didn't really land anything significant the entire fight. Like a couple of good uppercuts, maybe like one good right hand where Usman stumbled a little bit. But, I mean, mostly it was domination by Usman on the ground. Every round he spent maybe a minute, 2 on the feet, like kind of feeling it out, landing really good jabs, and then he'd go for the takedown. He'd get the double leg. Buckley started getting more of a bladed stance so that he could avoid the double leg. Usman just grabbed the single and did the same thing. It really didn't matter how Buckley's stance was. Usman was going to take him down at will whenever he wanted. And Usman's back on form now. He called for the winner of JDM versus Islam. No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You think that Usman deserves the title fight more than Rakhmonov, more than a Bilal rematch,
I'm sick
more than Ian Gary, Sean Brady, Leon Edwards, who already has 2 wins over Usman. But you think he deserves it more than all those guys? Why?
Just because he just won.
He beat number 7 in the division.
He was ranked number 3.
Yeah, and he beat number 7.
That means he's still top 10 worthy.
Brady just beat number 4.
Who?
Brady beat Leon Edwards. Sean Brady.
Leon's 4 or 3?
Yeah, he's like number 4 in the division. So, no, Usman does not get a title fight after that. Honestly, you do Islam, and you do JDM, and you do a co-main event of Bilal versus Rakhmonov, and the winners of those 2 fights fight each other.
Yeah.
I think that's what you should do. Maybe if you want to do Rakhmonov versus Brady, and then let the winner of that go on to fight for the title, maybe you do that and then line up Usman versus Bilal Muhammad, because I still want to see what happened on that podcast.
Yeah.
And I think the only way we're ever going to see what happened on that podcast is if those 2 fight. So I really want to see Usman versus Bilal, but I don't think that's the direction they're going. I think they're going to do Bilal versus Rakhmonov because Usman doesn't seem too fond of fighting Bilal.
Yeah.
But if you don't fight Bilal, you're sitting on the sideline. I'm sorry. You're not getting a title fight off of a win over Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, definitely not Buckley.
And Buckley should go on to fight like Ian Gary. Ian Gary lost to Rakhmonov. He ended up going on to beat Carlos Pratas. He needs another win before he can get back into that title scene. A fight against Joaquin Buckley could put him back in there. Do you agree that that's Buckley's future?
Back in there.
Yeah. Do you agree that that's Buckley's future, is Ian Gary? I think that's just the easiest matchup that you can make right now. I think that's a no-brainer, Buckley versus Ian Gary. And Kamaru Usman either fights Bilal or you sit. You sit and wait for the next 2 title fights. Because you're not getting the winner of Islam versus JDM, and then you might get the winner of either Islam versus Rakhmonov or JDM versus Rakhmonov. I think it's going to be Rakhmonov in the next title fight. I think he beats Bilal if they fight. I think he beats Brady if they fight. That's just my opinion because I'm a huge Rakhmonov guy. But other than that, do you want to talk anything else about this? All right. We are going to get into our predictions for Hill versus Rountree. We're going to do the whole main card. And then I think that we should have enough time to maybe do a top 15 pound for pound ranking if you want to do that.
Sure.
Sure? All right. We're going to just do the whole main card. We're not going to do the prelims. So here you go. That is your board. Here. Got an eraser.
Oh, so if I would have had Usman, I would have won the belt.
Well, we would have drew, which means I would have still won.
No, I would have won the belt.
No, you wouldn't have. We would have drew, which means I still would have won.
Because you chose my picks.
We pick at the same time. We flip at the same time. There's no picking your picks. All right. So first off, we have a featherweight bout So we have Mohammed Nemov. He's 12-3 versus Bogdan Grad, who's 15-2. So either MN or BG. 3, 2, 1. I've got
BG.
Bogdan Grad. Yep, both got Bogdan. Next up.
Stealing my picks.
Dude, we flip at the same time. There's no stealing your picks. You could change your pick if you want. We already agreed that you did that last time, so you can do it again. That's what made you lose last time. All right, Nazim. God damn, man, these names. Oh my god, I'm not looking forward to the next couple of names. Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota. So Nazim is 10-1-1 and Nicholas is 15-5. So either NS or NM. 3, 2, 1. I got Nazim. We both have Nazim. Dude, you're copying me now.
You know what? What's the other one? NM?
Nicholas Malta.
I'm taking Nicholas Malta.
Oh my god. Alright, that's fine. Alright, okay. I'm gonna try this name. If I fail, I'm gonna try these next two names, and if I fail, don't blame me. Tofuk. What Tofuk is this name? Okay. It's spelled Tofiq. Tofuk. Tofuk. I like Tofuk better. Tofuk Masuv, who's 22-5, versus Metubik Orobai. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Metubik Orobai, who's 13-12, and I'm going insane right now. 13-2-1. So either TM 22-5 or MO 13-2. I don't know anything about Tofuk, so I have no idea about him, but I know Orobai. 3, 2, 1. We both have Orobai. Okay. Damn, dude, we're gonna have... Well, at least you switched one of your picks. Alright, now we're getting into the names that I actually know. We have Curtis Blades versus a debuting Rizvan Kurnev. Rizvan Kurnev. So Curtis Blades is 18-5. Rizvan is 12-2-1. Come on, dude. Are we even 3? Curtis Blades or Rizvan Curvin. 3, 2, 1. Curtis Blades.
RC.
Oh shit! You didn't go with Curtis Blades. All right. You're gonna lose. I'm winning my belt back. Here we go. I'm gonna retain. You better cash in that money in the bank. We're recording Battle for the Bank soon, so you got about probably like 3 weeks left to cash in. Just letting you know that, okay?
Longest money in the bank holder.
Coming up this week, I'm gonna start recording for the next episode of Battle for the Bank for the UFC. So you have very limited time to cash in at this point.
Yes.
So, all right. Next up, we've got our co-main event. We've got Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. So, Fiziev's last fight, he lost to Gaethje. Bahamondes' last fight, he beat Jalen Turner. Fiziev is 12-4. Ignacio Bahamondes is 17-5. This is going to be a kickboxing fight, but Ignacio has probably the better grappling, but I saw Fiziev hold down Justin Gaethje, which I didn't think was going to be possible. 3, 2, 1. I got Fiziev. We both have Fiziev. Okay. Damn, dude. You're just picking everyone I pick. At least you didn't pick Curtis Blades, though. Alright. Now, it is main event time. It is the fight that I have been looking forward to since the last time that it was booked. We have Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. Finally, this fight has taken like 2 months to set up, and we are finally going to get it. But who is going to win? 3, 2, 1.
Jamal Hill.
I have Khalil Rountree. All right. Why do you think Jamal Hill is going to win. What has he ever shown you to make you think that he is going to beat Khalil Rountree?
One of the greatest light heavyweights to ever be in the division. Ever.
Name one person that he's beaten.
Paul Craig.
No, he lost to Paul Craig. That's one of his 3 losses on his record.
Glover Teixeira.
Okay, there you go. Now name someone in the rankings that he's beaten. Currently in the rankings.
Ankalaev.
Nope. Johnny Walker is the correct answer.
Johnny Walker.
The only person in the rankings that Jamal Hill has beaten is Johnny Walker.
That gives him.
Now you could kind of say the same about Khalil. The only person he's beaten in the rankings is not Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker beat him, but that was before he went on his Muay Thai journey to learn Muay Thai. Ever since he came back, he's been on a fight win streak. Honestly, his best win is probably Anthony Smith, which isn't that good of a win. But I mean, who is more competitive against Alex Pereira? Khalil Rountree. Jamal lost his last fight against Yuri. He looked fairly good in that fight, but he got rocked and dropped a couple of times, and he never really put Yuri in that much danger. I just think Khalil Rountree has that style to beat someone, a lanky striker like Jamal Hill. Because Jamal Hill isn't as clean and technical as Alex Pereira. I think you can admit that.
I think Jamal Hill's in very good shape. I think that he's one of the most athletic fighters.
And Khalil isn't?
I think that he's one of the most athletic fighters in the UFC.
Khalil is way more athletic.
No.
Yeah. Come on. Look at him and then look at Jamal. The one of them is clearly more athletic.
So you're saying, that's like saying Alex Pereira is more athletic than John Jones.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not, yeah. Because John Jones is the better athlete. And Khalil Rountree is the better athlete. He hits harder. He's faster.
No.
He's more technical. He's got better groundwork.
I don't think you're seeing it from eye to eye.
All of the above. He's got every statistical advantage over Jamal Hill.
Except for a height advantage.
That is the only thing, but we've already seen DC.
Except for a length
DC never cared about that height advantage on anyone. He got in there and he dirty boxed, and that's what Khalil Rountree's going to do. He's going to go in there. He's going to throw
work
kicks.
Against John Jones.
Okay, nothing has worked against John Jones to this point. The only thing that will work against John Jones is one bomb right hand from Tom. That Tom bomb. No?
Tom couldn't knock him out.
Yes, he can. He can easily knock John Jones out. Dude, Dominic Reyes knocked down John Jones.
So, Tom Aspinall's not even beating Dominic Reyes.
Shut the hell up. I hate you. You're the worst. Did you know that?
You know, this right here is going to come real handy.
And you see this right here? It's around my neck. Because I'm the champ.
Hey.
Because I know more.
Longest reign ever.
Once again, you only have that because I'm not a part of the Battle for the Bank episodes.
Longest reign ever in history.
Whatever you say.
I make history.
Can we do our top 15 pound for pound rankings now?
Yes.
Because we have predicted everything we need to predict. Catch us back next week for our review for this and predictions for UFC 317. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
Yes.
So, now we are going to move in and we are going to do our top 15 pound for pound rankings. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the actual pound for pound rankings so that I can fix them and make them actually look better. You better not put Colby in your top 15. If you put Colby in your top 15, I'm going to be pissed.
Why?
Because you do this every time.
Oh, I gotta look up the UFC pound for pound rankings. Wait, what?
What?
Hold on. Athlete rankings. Hold on.
I've got the list pulled up right now. I'm basically going to keep most of these guys, other than Charles Oliveira, in the top 15. Charles Oliveira fucking sucks, so he doesn't deserve to be there. Who else can I switch out for him? No, maybe. Is he even in the top 15? Yes, he is, so I can't put him there because he's already there. Alright, I think I know what I'm doing. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Just getting all this ready.
Okay. So, number 15 pound for pound.
We're starting from the bottom?
We're going to start from the bottom and make our way
Wait,
up.
are we reading it out?
No, you just tell me who your number 15 is.
Oh, wait.
Who do you want your number 15 to be on your pound for pound rankings?
Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall. That is already an ass pound for pound ranking. I'm just going to say that. You already have a worse one than me, and I haven't written anything on my board yet. My number 15, pound for pound, is going to be... Yeah, it's going to be Nasruddin Imavov. My number 15 is Nasruddin Imavov.
Wait. Let me change that. Colby Covington.
Oh, my God. You actually have Colby Covington. You don't tell me you're bumping Tom off of the top 15.
No, he's still on the list.
Okay, good. As long as he's still on the list. I was about to be pissed at you if that was what you were about to do. All right. Who's your number 14 pound for pound?
Number 14 pound for pound. I'm going to go with... what fighters we got here? I'm going to go with... Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades. Fucking terrible list already. Just throwing that out there. My number 14 is going to be Arman Shesterkian. Because I think Arman is better than Oliveira, and I don't think Oliveira belongs on this top 15 right now. Number 13. Who's your number 13 pick?
Who's my number 13?
13.
Bilal Muhammad.
I am going to put Bilal Muhammad at number 13 too. That is where he is in the rankings right now. I think that's a fairly good spot to put him. I do not disagree with that. Okay.
The only thing you've ever agreed with me with?
Only thing I've in this entire channel's history, it's the only thing I've ever agreed with you on. Number 12. Who's your number 12?
My number 12. I'm going to go... What's that guy's name? This is the list. Okay. I'll go Max Holloway.
I'm going Max too. That is where he sits in the pound for pound rankings right now. I do think that is a good spot for him. Here is where we hit the champions. From now on, it's basically all champions and Alex Pereira. And then now it's just a matter of ordering these guys because what I'm looking at, terrible. Terrible. All right. Number 11. After you.
Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira?
Yeah.
My number 11 is going to be John Jones.
Okay.
My number 11 is John Jones. I think that he is currently number 11 pound for pound. He has not fought enough. He is not active enough. And his win over Stipe was not impressive enough.
Oh, okay.
So, now up to number 10. Who is your number 10 pound for pound?
Islam.
What? There's no way you're putting Islam at number 10. Are you crazy? He is the greatest fighter in the world right now. You guys know who I'm putting at number 1. He is the greatest fighter in the world. How are you putting Islam at number 10?
10.
You're pissing me off. So you're telling me Islam is worse than Alexander Volkanovski, who he beat twice?
We gotta talk about it after.
No, we're talking about it right now. Erase that and put him higher. That is ridiculous.
I can't do that.
You're ridiculous.
I can't do that.
All right, my number 10 is going to be Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira has fallen off a lot. He was not very impressive against Ankalaev, and he almost lost to Clear Rountree, so recently he's taken a little bit of a dip. Number 9. Who is your number 9 pound for pound fighter in the world?
Alexander Volkanovski.
I completely disagree. I think it's Jack Della Maddalena. I'm putting JDM at the number 9 spot. Number 8. Who do you have?
Tom Aspinall.
Crazy. I am going to put Ankalaev here at number 8. Ank is going at number 8 for me. Number 7. Who do you have?
I got Magomed and Ankalaev.
All right, we weren't too far apart. Trying to think now. These top guys are really good, so I am going to put Alexander Volkanovski goes here. Volkanovski goes here. Alexander the Great. Who did you have at number 7? You had Alex Pereira?
No, I had Magomed.
Oh, you had Magomed. Okay. Now, number 6. Who is your number 6, pound for pound?
Alexander Pantoja.
Okay, that's the next one I was going for, too. I was going for Pantoja, too, at number 6. Number 5.
Ilia Topuria.
Ilia Topuria. Your list is crappy, dude. My number 5 is going to be Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall goes in my number 5 on my pound for pound ranking. Who is your number 4?
My number 4. I'm gonna go JDM.
Oh, JDM that high? You think he's that much better than Islam? What has he ever shown that shows you that he's that much better than Islam?
The fact that he's bigger.
It's pound for pound.
Exactly.
You can't. No. Take size out of it.
What do you mean?
You're not allowed to think of it by way of size. Think of it by their fighting skills in their division. Do you actually think Jack Della Maddalena is the better fighter than Islam?
Yes, and then Islam's going to go up a weight class and he's going to prove that.
You can't think about it from pound for pound. Like,
no, I'm thinking about it like realistically. Like Islam's going to go up and he's going to fight him, right?
But Islam is the better fighter than Jack Della Maddalena.
We don't know that.
We do know that. Pound for pound, Islam has 4 title defenses. He's finished everyone. Jack Della Maddalena had a split decision with Kevin Holland.
I gotta see it in person.
Jack Della Maddalena had a split decision with Basil Hafez in his first fight in the UFC. And you're telling me Jack Della Maddalena is number 4 on your pound for pound rankings above Islam Makhachev?
These have to be certified stats.
You are a super casual. You're like the opposite of a casual. You're like, because a casual would just automatically put Islam at number 1. You're like a hater. That is what you are. You're a casual hater.
I'm a realist.
All right, my number 4 is going to be Dracus du Plessis.
I'm going to take Tom Aspinall from 8. I'm going to move Colby Covington up to 8.
Bro.
I'm going to move Colby Covington. I'm putting Tom Aspinall at 15.
No. Your list is staying the way it was. I'm not, no. I'm not dealing with this right now. You see, you're an expert hater. That is what you are. You're not a casual. You're an expert hater.
How am I an hater?
Because you just are a hater. You 100% are a hater. All right, give me your number 3 guy. I'm getting
DDP.
sick of doing this. All right, DDP at your number 3. Who was your number 4?
JDM.
What the fuck, dude? All right. So your number 3 is DDP. My number 3 is Merab Dvalishvili. Merab at the number 3 spot for me. Who is your number 2? I assume you're going Merab now.
If I say this, you gotta relax, dog. You gotta relax. Charles Oliveira.
What? So you don't have Merab on your top 15?
No.
What are you doing right now?
You know what? I won't go Charles.
Charles fucking sucks. Good. You shouldn't go him.
You know what? I'm going Patty Pimlet.
Bro,
for number 2.
You're not putting Merab on your list?
Patty Pimlet.
You're not putting Merab on your list? You're crazy. My number 2 is Ilia Topuria. It just is. Ilia Topuria is the second best fighter in the world. And my number 1 is
John Jones.
Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is the greatest fighter in the world right now. There's no debate about it. Islam Makhachev finished Moicano in the first round. He finished Volk in the first round.
Moicano was garbage.
He finished DDP in the 4th round. He's finished Dan Hooker in the first round. He's finished Bobby Green in the first round. He beat Volk by decision. He is just a menace at lightweight. Number 1 fighter in the world. Ilia number 2. Merab number 3. DDP. Tom. Pantoja. Volk. Ankalaev. JDM. Alex Pereira. John Jones. Max Holloway. Bilal Arman. And Imavov. You want to read down your list? just so that people can hear how shitty of a list you
Number
had.
1, we have John Jones. Number 2, Patty Pimblett. Number 3, DDP. Number 4, JDM. Number 5, Ilya Taporia. Number 6, Pantoja. 7, Ankalaev. 8, Colby Covington. 9, Volkanovski. 10, Islam. 11, Alex Pereira. 12, Max Holloway. 13, Bilal Muhammad. 14, Curtis Blades. I had Tom Aspinall at 15. I'm taking him off and I'm putting Leon Edwards.
You're crazy. Your list fucking sucks. At least you have Islam over Alex Pereira, though. That's what I'm happy about. In my heart, you have Islam over Alex Pereira. You finally admit that Islam is the better fighter than Alex Pereira.
Oh, what was I thinking?
Oh, motherfucker, dude.
See, you almost
I
had
shouldn't
it.
have opened my mouth. I shouldn't
You
have opened
almost
my
had
mouth.
it. Islam.
I hate doing this with
actually,
you.
no. That doesn't make sense because Islam's champ and Pereira's
Well,
not.
Islam's not champ.
He's not? Wait, they vacated him?
Yeah, Ilya and Charles are fighting for the vacant title. But Alex Pereira lost his title. Islam didn't lose his title. He got stripped. There's a difference.
Islam. Alex Pereira. There we go. We fixed that up.
Whatever. All right. I have brain bleed now. I need to stop this. You're ridiculous.
Do you really not think that this list is accurate?
I think that is one of the worst pound for pound lists I've ever seen in my life.
And give me the first issue with it.
Okay, let me give you every issue with it. Leon Edwards at number 15, Curtis Blades at number 14, Islam Makhachev at number 11, Alex Pereira at number 10, Colby Covington at number 8, Ilya Taporia at number 5, JDM at number 4, DDP at number 3, Patty Pimblett at number 2, and John Jones at number 1. Those are all the issues that I have with your board.
You can't excuse John Jones for number 1.
No.
Not even for a minute. Not even for a minute.
No.
For his legacy.
Pound for pound does not have anything to do with the legacy.
Yes, it does.
No.
Look at Khabib. Look at Khabib. Khabib.
Listen to what I'm saying. The GOAT list is what you talk about when you talk about legacy. Pound for pound is talking about right now in this moment at this time.
John Jones.
No. Did you see his fight against a 43-year-old, 5-year out of action, washed up Stipe?
Do you remember
He barely made it through that fight.
Do you remember what Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov said about John Jones? Said he had given gifts.
And that's what makes him the GOAT, not the pound for pound number 1. GOAT, here, let me try to explain it like this. GOAT takes this much of your career and judges you based off this much of your career. Pound for pound judges you off this much of your career. The last year, maybe 2 years of fighting. That's what pound for pound is. Pound for pound talks about your last year to 2 years of fighting. GOAT talks about your last 10 years.
So who's the number 1 pound for pound fighter of all time?
That's not how it works.
But I'm asking you a question.
The greatest of all time is John Jones.
No. Pound for pound number 1 of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Then John Jones. But if we are talking if we are talking currently, right now, in the UFC, right now, at this very moment, then we're talking Islam Makhachev.
But John Jones has never lost. And you said that yourself.
Once again, you're talking about this. I'm talking about this.
In the last 2 years, John Jones has won a fight. And
he's won a fight against a 43-year-old, 5-year out of action, washed up Stipe, who got knocked out in his last fight. He's won like 4 fights in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, he's won like 4 fights. He's knocked out Tabora. He's knocked out Sergey Pavlovich. He's knocked out Curtis Blades. So there's already 3.
That's only 2. Pavlovich and Curtis Blades.
He knocked out Tabora like 2 months before he knocked out Pavlovich.
That wasn't an important fight.
And Stipe Miocic off of 5 years out of action, 43-year-old, who got knocked out in his fight before, was an important fight?
It was. I mean, for legacy, you got to think about John Jones' legacy.
Think
about how fast he finished the fight.
You keep on bringing up this legacy word. You're talking about this. I'm talking about this.
No, but pound for pound, in the last year or so, John Jones has shown more well-rounded skills at the age of 38 compared
hasn't.
to Islam
He
at 35.
No, he hasn't. Islam has finished like his last 4 opponents in the last 2 years. Jones has finished 1 opponent in the last 3 years. And it was a 43-year-old 5-year out of action. Last got knocked out.
He finished 2
Stipe.
opponents, actually. 2 opponents in the last 3 years.
Cyril Gane was like early 2023. That was like 2.5 years ago. We don't even count.
But
it
no,
anymore.
in a 3-year span, he's finished 2 opponents.
All right, in the last 2 years.
One by submission, one by knockout.
What about in the last 2 years? We're talking about one person, a 43-year-old washed up,
in 2 years,
5-year out of action.
In 2 years, 2 opponents.
No,
Cyril Gane.
3 years, 2 opponents. He fought Cyril Gane 2023, early 2023. I'm pretty sure that was like February 2023.
No. That was late 2023.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely February of 2023.
No.
I know for a fact it was either February or March because it was early on in the year and it was the fight right before Usman versus Leon, and that happened late March.
I'll look it up right now.
Go for it. I'm telling you, it's either going to be February or March 2023. Jones versus Cyril Gane. UFC 290. No, wouldn't be 290.
UFC
260.
285.
And it was in
April.
Shut the hell up. Pull it back up.
It was in April.
No, because the April card was Izzy versus Alex Pereira when Izzy knocked him out. No,
there were 2 cards in April.
No, it wasn't. There were 2 cards in March. You can't get me on this. I know my UFC history. Don't make me pull up a Battle for the Bank episode and have us do that right now. We could do Battle for the Bank right now, you versus me.
Nah.
And I'll win that briefcase from you, and I'll walk around with the briefcase.
You can't do that.
Well, then stop trying to tell me I don't know my UFC history. I know my UFC history. You know what I saw on Instagram? Or maybe it was on Twitter. I saw someone say, I hate all of these fans that came in post Conor McGregor or post pandemic that started watching UFC and now talk about UFC like they know something about it.
Yeah.
That's us, first off. He's talking about us. We came in post pandemic. We started watching UFC and started talking about UFC, and now we have a podcast about the UFC. And my response to that guy was, it takes 4 years to get a degree in world history. I've been watching UFC for 5 years now. So it takes 4 years to learn the entire history of the world, but you can't learn the history of MMA in 5 years. That seems kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
You could get a degree in world history in 4 years, but it takes more than 10 years to learn about MMA. Come on, dude. You're kind of crazy. Whoever said that on Twitter or Instagram, you're insane. It doesn't take 10 years to learn about the history of the UFC. If you're really dedicated, you could learn it in like 5 hours. If you really wanted to, it could take 5 hours.
To be fair, was a UFC fan before. I was a UFC fan, I think, 2015 or so, 2014. I started playing the game, started really getting an understanding. I know the names like Rampage, I know the John Jones, I know the Fedor, I've heard of Pride and all that good stuff. So I was definitely familiar with the Ken Shamrocks. Like, those were names that older cousins, my dad, they've told me about these guys. So I've always had that, I mean, I heard about Ken Shamrock since I was like a kid, and I never knew. I thought he was a wrestler.
He was too.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's really crazy that you've liked the UFC for that long and you still know nothing about it. That's insane. You're still such a casual. You've known about the UFC for over 10 years and you still know nothing about it. That's insane, dude. And that's impressive, honestly. To learn nothing in 10 years.
I've made you the better UFC fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd agree because you're so casual that it makes me so frustrated that I have to learn more to try and tell you what's up.
Better takes than ESPN's put out all year.
No.
And I have the facts to prove that. You can look up every episode.
You have some of the worst takes I've ever seen. Ever. Patty Pumblett at number 2.
Is that crazy?
How about you guys tell us in the comments section below? I forgot to say it at the beginning of this episode. If you guys are still watching, comment on the video. We are going to do every single week. We're going to add a comment in of whoever was the most liked comment on the last episode. Forgot to do it at the beginning of the podcast, but hopefully whoever you are, you're still watching at this point. So we are going to pop your comment up right here. Let's read it. I don't know what it is. It's sitting right here. You guys can start reading it while I'm trying to pull it up. Should have probably been more prepared for this, but I completely forgot that we do that segment now. So, our number one comment on this past episode was... Give me a second. So, we got 2 comments on the last one. Only one of them got an upvote, and it was, I think, from me. So, the name of this channel alone deserves the sub. Way to go, guys. And then my response to him was, thanks, bro. The name came easy. Because look at him. Anyone who's watched this far into this episode can realize the hardcore and the casual name came so easy to me once I started talking to him about the UFC. So thank you to Rountree Vlog Me, whatever that means. Thank you for commenting on our video. Hopefully you've watched this far into the episode. Here's your comment. Here's your name. Shout-outs to you. Other than that, I think that is it for this week. Catch us back next week for our review of Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree and our predictions for Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
This podcast, this is deeper than just UFC and Ultimate Fighting coverage. This is egos on who knows more. This is all ego.
This is ego.
This is pure ego.
The entire reason we started this podcast was because of ego. The entire reason we started this podcast was because we wanted to start making money off of our arguments at work. We were already making money arguing at work.
Making our own real competitions to prove a point.
We wanted to see if there was a way that we could start, getting into it, maybe make a little bit of cash on the side for our arguments. So now we argue for a living.
It's definitely personal.
We're not making a living off of this podcast yet, but, one day, hopefully, we're looking towards the stars. Hopefully,
it started at work, though. It started in good faith.
We started getting paid for arguing at work. We weren't really getting paid to argue. We just kind of were getting paid while we argued.
Yeah.
And now we're hopefully going to get paid to argue.
Yes.
So, it's a fun time. I like arguing. They always say, do what you love, get paid for what you love. I love arguing.
I love being a hardcore, and he loves being a casual.
Whatever. Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. This has been my co-host, Elijah. I have been your host, Justin. This has been the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. And share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out our comment. Top comment gets read off on next week's episode.
And watch all the shorts.
Watch all the shorts. That's what I was going to say. Hopefully I remember to do the comments at the beginning of next week's episode instead of at the end. Sorry to you if you didn't watch this episode. Hopefully you've seen this. Whatever your name was. It's already too hard to remember. Make some regular names on YouTube, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Also, if you go on any of the social medias, comment on there too.
Yes. Maybe we'll shout you guys out, too, if we get enough comments on social media, too. Yeah. Just comment. Talk to us. Yeah. We want to talk to you guys. He'll comment something. If he sees you guys comment, he'll reply back on the comments. I'll reply back. If it's coming from the Hardcore and the Casual account, it's always me. If it's coming from his personal account, it's always him. Obviously. Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. That's been Elijah. I've been Justin. Peace out. MMA fans, if you want more content like this, please click right here, go under playlists and check out all the variety we have to offer. And if you want a suggestion on where to start, click on this video right here. If you want to be up to date or communicate with us on any of our social media platforms, check out That Casual HQ, and we will see you all soon. Stay casual.